Began. Our solar system, wound up by Father Time himself.
Do you see what I'm seeing?
Well, certainly. Maybe I could talk to him, huh? Hey, Father Time, how long has that sun clock been going?
A few billion years. Why?
Well, could you unwind it for us?
Unwind time? Man, are you crazy?
Well, I'm a fiction writer. We're auditioning a show about our Mr. Sun, and I thought that...
Show about me? Well, well, about time.
Look who's here. Hi. Yeah, we were wondering how it all happened at the beginning.
Nobody knows what happened at the beginning.
Oh, come on, Pop. Unwind us. They want to see how I was born.
You all are the seeds that have been planted in a rich soil that has been waiting, fertile, for you. And the time is now. We have stopped time at this point. Believe it or not, this occasion was prophesized. We are participating in a prophesized event. It was written that there would be a gathering in the West, a gathering that would signify the dawning of a new consciousness time zone, a new perceptual paradigm for this planet, and a resurrection for the dark matter consciousness, the black dot that has manifested in this quadrant of time. The original instrumentation are on you and in you. And our ancestors already knew what's to come because it was already written on the petroglyphs, it was written on the hieroglyphs, and it was written on the mindoglyphs right here. We know what's coming, we know what time it is.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. If the concept is to rule the masses, then why would you throw a monkey wrench in a well-oiled machine? Then obviously there has to be something that is conspiratorial. It has to be something that is esoteric. There has to be something that's astronomical, astrological, metaphysical, spiritual, both light and dark, up and down, as above, so below. Something that is going on that has to be this way that would actually say it is time to put the forces in operation for lockdown. This one I have to apologize for the people who have not been engaged in any type of spiritual or alternative knowledge over the last 13 years. This one is basically you're going to just have to try to fall in and try to understand that there's spiritual forces that is outside of religion that is behind this. This has something to do with major occult forces. And remember, occult means that which is hidden. Major esoteric forces and major spiritual phenomenon that is going on the earth, on the planet Earth, or the earth plane at this particular time.
There is going to be an enormous magnetic pole shift, and it's happening at this moment. In the mid-20th century, Russian scientists discovered numerous woolly mammoths in the frozen tundra. Carbon dating to 10,000 years ago, the animals contained undigested grass in their mouths, an indication that a cataclysmic event froze them instantaneously as they grazed. This cataclysm was a shift in the Earth's magnetic pole that instantaneously caused great changes in weather patterns. Early indications of an upcoming pole shift are global weather pattern changes, erratic behavior in the Earth's magnetic field, erratic wobble of the Earth's axis, shifts in the migrations of birds and land and sea animals, and large numbers of people reporting prophetic dreams warning of the pole shift. New plagues will emerge as the bodies, check this, we said this before. New plagues will emerge as the body's electrical system becomes unbalanced by changes in the Earth's magnetic field and electromagnetic pollution. When the magnetic field shifts, it will throw off our electromagnetic bodies and put it through a process of induction. The pole shifts will lead to increased tectonic plate movement. As tectonic plates move, they create low-frequency infrasonic waves that can adversely affect the body, making us vulnerable to pronounced mood swings, depression, and even something akin to possession. As the polarity of the planet shifts, the relationship between the Earth and the Moon will change, causing the Moon to orbit closer to the Earth. This will cause the movement towards a lunar society with more feminine than masculine overtones. As a result, both men and women will experience increased intuitive abilities.
It's a resurgence and a return of the ancient information. And yes, don't think for 1 minute that the Egyptians, who knew that they were going to go into slavery 5,000 years before, they said it right in the Hermetic text, that they were going to go into slavery. Don't think for 1 minute that they wasn't going to put things in place, or they didn't already know that deep in our DNA or the archetypes of the collective unconsciousness, we wouldn't be able to recover this. Because after all, we're just the same people, reincarnated to this day. You see, nothing is ever lost. And in the Gospel of Thomas, which is one that never found itself in the Bible or was taken out at the Conference of Nicaea or those other 8 conferences, tells you that in the last days, all things will be recovered, and there will be no mysteries that is hidden, secrets that are hidden, or mysteries that were hidden that will not be revealed.
He is the sun. Of course, what I really am is a star. An average, everyday type of star. Billions like me. I remember when primitive man first began to look up, to gaze in wonderment at the stars and planets sweeping across the face of the sky. That primitive curiosity was the beginning of all your science.
When you hear the word more, you hear the word merchant. More means merchant. More means marine, means water. More means love. Everybody loved us when they seen us coming. Amore. You know, the color black was synonymous with Moors. So now, when we came, we had them, and they loved us because we could speak their language. We knew every language on the planet because we had a whole gambit of sounds based off of the people who taught us how to speak. Kemet proper was the localized region for the institutionalization of Lower Kushite Ethiopian science, Nubia. The little short pyramid spots was where the true genius, where all the warriors was at. The darker the Egyptians, the more intelligent, the more intellectually inclined he was, the more brave. You know what I'm saying? Because we established the monarchy and placed the monarchy in Kemet as a fiction. We create the monarchy. Monarchies is really created by you creating a subgroup below you. Because the monarchy have to be they have to be ordained by a priesthood. The priesthood sets up the monarchy. Because the priesthood is the conduit between God and the world. See? So the priesthood was the ones that told them, let's make up a fake society. The priesthood was the scientists too. Because to be a priest, you had to be a scientist as well. And the lab is no further than the womb or the black womb. So we created beings, set up monarchy, set on them, right? Set them on the monarchy, and we controlled them with words, with language. You heard? With language. So we took a vast use of language, codified it in 22 letters, and then disseminated the 22 letters in all of our business affairs to all the people that we dealt with. We made them all share our language. Aleph, Beth, Gimel, Dollar, He, Vowel, Zayn, Kef, Tef, all that.
For this new and fascinating mistress, his brain. Thinking began spreading like the measles. Everybody got the bug. The Greeks with their logic and philosophy. The Hindus with their algebra and your present number system. The Arabs with their early instruments like the astrolabe. And today, instead of temples, rituals, and hymns, it's domes, gadgets, charts, and numbers.
This is where your Moorish connection, or why your Moorish connection is so cut off. Because a lot of people are scared of the fact of who and what you are, and what you represent. You represent the people who were dispossessed all over the planet. And because everybody on the planet is descended from you, everybody owes you. Because our people, as we came out of the triple stage darkness, you have to remember that at the time they called it triple stage darkness because there was no light. So being that there was no light back then, we were the light. We were the suns and the moons that brought forth the light out of the darkness. Therefore, once the sun, in a sense, was manifested as a physical artifice of Akashic energy, we then began to transmit our DNA to encompass it with a chemical that would allow us to translate the light form or the light source into energy. That is melanin, which is that physical product of the triple stage darkness. Everybody following? So really we're talking about a simultaneous time stream of something that happens simultaneously where there's no break in it. So when you think of a memory of the past, you're in the past. You understand? That's how our ancestors used to understand it. So when we read stuff like crossing the Red Sea or the Sea of Reeds, we're also talking about the split between the reality of what was and the reality of what can be. What takes us there is the will. You understand? The will to see it actually done. And our people, well, not our people, but so-called black people, for whatever reason, haven't been able to focus that aspect of themselves the way other people have. One, because they don't know where they are. They don't know what time frame they're in. They don't know what they should be called. They don't know how people should treat them. So people make up things and get them to accept those things, and then those things become how they want to be treated. And those things are really traps to bring you right back into the situation.
Our memory is the vehicle by which we place ourselves in the future, based off of our knowledge of a past event. There's no distinction between the present, past, or future, but the most important and significant point in those three is the very present moment. Because from the present moment, you're allowed to put yourself in the future place or take yourself back to give yourself a distance by which to view your ability or where you're going to be.
What are the realities that we could make real to recreate Genesis again at its purest level? Because this is over. We've done this. Been there, done that. How many times we gonna come back doing the same thing? The 9 to 5 will tell you just how the drudgery of your reality has become. There is something new that is trying to be born inside of all of us, and it is constantly being stopped. It is being repressed constantly because we are paying attention constantly to this European who don't know what the hell he's doing anyway. We are supposed to be giving the guidance by who we are, not who we are educated to be.
Why do snowflakes, when they fall down, what is the characteristics of all snowflakes? They're six-pointed. Why? Okay, how many sides does this cube have? Six sides. Now this cube is a physical representation of the crystalline holographic matrix that you have in your mind when you close your eyes and cognize about something. When you close your eyes and you think of something and you can see it very vividly, you're doing so within the cube of space. This is the cube of space.
Intuition, intellect, imagination. When those three faculties are hooked up in your brain, functioning, they are in perfect harmony, perfect balance. It opens your third eye full out. Generator, operator, destroyer. But that's nobody's name. That's Codex Inscriptus. G, that's your brain, generator. O, that's your soul, operator. D, that's the destroyer, your sacral vertebrae and the fire of Kundalini that destroys darkness, fear, ignorance, and poverty. When the Queen of the South comes up.
Humanity ain't shit. The universe is the ego. The universe is ego. It's selfish. It has its own designs. Everybody wants to be the black man. And they'll do anything for his attention.
That's what the Genesis is, Moore's genes. That's what the 666 is. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The closer you get to the sun is black. Carbon is black. The ancient Africans viewed the ability to practice magic or hika, which is engineering, with certain blood lineages or genetics. With certain blood lineages or genetics. I hope you following me, Moors.
By way of abusing our memory, what happens is we don't know where to go because we don't know where we were at. So when you displace a people, you displace them in time with by the utilization of giving them nomenclatures that don't belong to them. And then take certain nomenclatures away from them. Like they got a word, nigga, it's like they call it the N-bomb. Well, they had some Indonesian people from 10, 15, 100,000 years ago called the Naga. Their god name was Sambo. Now you got some black politicians trying to outlaw the word nigga in New York City. Can you imagine them locking niggas up for saying nigga, nigga, Niger? So what they do is, when you're in the future and you can't remember your past, you don't have a present. See? So time is an abstract part of memory. So I had a cousin that used to say that, he said, nigga, we built the pyramids in the future. and put them in the past. See? So we can remember who we are and where we're going. This is why the pygmies to this day, their whole spirituality entails them singing. And what are they singing? They're singing songs that they have memorized, because in the song lies their evolution. So with your hands in the psyche, construct the six-sided form of your visual tool by which to advance your agenda. Now, very important, I said advance an agenda. Remember that in the Bible, the God of the Bible is a vehicle. Meaning that you build the God in front of you, you immerse yourself in the God, and you tell the God where you want to go. Because God is nothing but a creation of what you make God. You created God. You create God. For those who have an ear, let them hear.
Many people wonder what is the difference between a cobra and a king cobra. In India, the cobra is the naga, and the king cobra is the hamadryad. This is a king. This is a king cobra, 13 feet, by the way.
13 feet long.
And over 20 pounds of the most revered and venomous reptile in the world.
He has a nervous and suspicious temperament. He is an irritable king and easily aroused. Gather round, folks, but not too close. Presenting King Cobra.
The snake has been given a negative connotated meaning. When people call somebody a snake, they're connoting that somebody is wicked, somebody is deceiving. It doesn't mean that.
Right.
Snake refers to a wise person, wisdom. So if you call me a snake, that's the highest honor you can give me. If you call me a nigger, that's the highest honor you can give me. That's the highest honor. Because the snake is important in ancient world culture. Why did the Europeans attack that? Why is it that the world views snake as deceiver? Why is that? You talking about that which deals with the manifestation or activation of the DNA in the pineal gland. They attack that. That's why they attack nigger, because it tags to the snake and the activation of the Kundalini energy.
When we're talking about the serpentine fire, we got to talk about what did the ancient Kemet call it, all right? In ancient Kemet, you had the word Nagu, all right, N-G-U. And then you also had the word Naga, N-G-A. All right, N-G-U was the word in which that equated to the word king. N-G-A was the word in which that equated to the word queen, all right, or royalty. So you go to India, or you sit amongst the pre-Davidians or the Tamils, as they was called at that time period. They had a group in which that was called the Nagas. Nigga is actually derived from the word Naga, which actually meant he who possessed wisdom, all right, or the serpent bearer of wisdom. Of course, you got the country Niger and the word Nigeria or Niger, but you come to find out that the word Niger is the masculine form for the word Nagu, which means serpent king, which was the ancient term for the so-called pharaohs. The word pharaoh didn't come into existence until the 15th dynasty. All right, and that was by the Hyksos. When the Hyksos invaded ancient Kemet, they brought the term pharaoh. The word pharaoh means house of fire, which it was talking about your physical body and the fire in which that possesses or that dwells within the abode of your physical body, which would be the Kundalini energy.
What is happening with the people on the planet? The earth is reacting to it. And one of the most ancient mantras that we've been saying is the word nigga. Even when that was the worst thing that could possibly be said to us without super duper special science. We even had the white boy call us nigga, so this can become a mantra. Nigga is nothing but the Naga goddess, who's a goddess who sits above a snake, which is the Kundalini energy. Each time we've been saying nigga, niggers, nigga, naka, and the rest of that shit, we've been repeating her name, calling on that energy, and it's been waking up the earth.
What is the origin of this image? Why did the Europeans distort it?
It's Bible talk. I'm just talking the Bible. God never comes to the righteous. God comes to the sinner.
Now, the goat, this is a goat. Any horn-headed animal, the horns of a bull, horns of a goat, the horns denote the ancient lunar calendar. The goat is a symbol, ancient symbol of fertility. So what the Europeans did was suppress its meaning. They distorted this image. This image denotes agriculture, fertility of woman, fertility of the earth, and the ancient lunar calendar. Any reference to the ancient moon or lunar calendar, the Europeans distorted. The number 13. Why are people afraid of the number 13? And the number 7. And what does the number 7 denote? The number 7 denotes the 7 days of the week. You have your lunar calendar. The 4 phases, the 4 major phases of the moon. There's a 7-day interval. From the new moon to the first quarter moon, there's 7 days. From the first quarter moon to the full moon, there's 7 days. From the full moon to the last quarter moon, 7 days. From the last quarter moon back to the new moon, 7 days. That gives you your 28-day cycle, and hence your 7 days a week. 4 gates denoting the 4 seasons. So here you have Boaz and Jachin, astronomical and geometrical origin of Boaz and Jachin. Boaz means the sun, denoting the sun, and Jachin means the moon. So what you have the intercalation of the earth, moon, and its relationship or correlation with the sun. The moon goes around the earth 28 days, 13 times a year. While the moon is revolving around the earth is revolving around the sun. That deals with what's called your intercalation. Inter means between. So you have the moon, earth, and sun system. This is ancient. So you have your lunar solar calendar. What the Europeans have done through distortion is that they suppress the moon calendar. The word sin is the Sumerian name for the moon. So they tell you that the wages of sin is death. You are a sinner. You were born in sin. All right. You were born in sin. Sin meaning the moon, as you in your mother's womb. All right. You were born. All right. You were what? Formed into that fertile womb. So you were born in sin, denoting the moon and the ancient fertility of the womb. So the word month means moon. Keep in mind, once again, the etymology of the word, sin means moon. That's a Sumerian name for the moon, dealing with fertility and the ancient lunar calendar. Once you place these words in this etymological perspective, it's clear.
It seems to have to do with getting to the job, picking up somebody, job, work. The clock seems to have been solely invented to let you know when you need to get to work. It seems to not be connected at all to our personal vibratory frequency unless you look at it just so much more deeper. But the truth is, brothers and sisters, that time is actually a frequency. And what this means is that your high vibratory ancestors are in the future. As you continuously bring up your vibration, you actually connect more, you amplify, and this puts you in contact, if you may, with all that you knew not while you were in division. So high vibratory frequency brings you into a united field where you become aware of things that you weren't aware of before.
Because the calendar was created in a way that, you had 13 months, 28 days, in every month. So nothing ever changed. Now what happens scientifically when you live in such a construct, it frees up the right hemisphere. And it frees up the right hemisphere and allows it to be consistently engaged because the left hemisphere of the brain is all about intellectual pursuit. When you live with a program that is consistent from day to day, from month to month, and from year to year, you don't have to really worry about time and space. So for example, May the 4th falls on a Tuesday. June the 4th is also going to fall on a Tuesday. July the 4th is also going to fall on a Tuesday. It runs consistent, so you don't have to stop and ponder where you are in the schematic of time. And the schematic of space.
Do you remember me, Austin Powers? I don't recall your name, but your fez is familiar.
Because when all of those places passed away, they all exist within our blood, our bloodline that we carry with us. So we got the ancient nobility of all the original ancients of the planet, which is why we're the most hated, because we civilized all of them.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Moor is not a race or ethnic or whatever per se. Moorish or Moor is a dispensation of civilization. In reality right now, we are in the Moorish civilization. Even though we think this is Western or European civilization, this is the Moorish civilization only perverted by the Europeans. And so, in reality, the Moorish nation comprises the whole human family of the planet Earth. All the 12 tribes of Israel. Because the whole human family of planet Earth is the 12 tribes because everybody on the planet Earth falls into one of the 12 zodiac signs. The 12 tribes. The 12 tribes of Israel is no more than the 12 zodiac signs. The whole key to the Bible is astrology. So therefore, the whole human family of planet Earth is Moorish. Everybody's Moorish. Now it's just a matter of whether or not you realize that or not. Everybody's Moorish.
Now, after the Romans destroyed the last temple of the people of the Hebrew faith, 70 AD, now you got to watch it. You've got to study the migration patterns of the world. Where did those Western Asian people go? I see no migration pattern that took them into Europe. I do see a migration pattern that took a large number of them into inner West Africa, where a large number of people of the Hebrew faith lived in ancient Ghana, lived in peace.
Enough reason to be exploited.
As Moors, we don't get caught up in hating white people and all this stuff. It's not about them. This whole race thing, they have, because they brought it up, it sort of clouds the issue of what's the real problem dealing with the evolution of the human family. The real enemy is ignorance. That's our enemy. not white people per se. Ignorance is the enemy. Because when you ignorant, when you don't know, you behave wrong, you do all the things wrong. You see what I'm saying? So ignorance is the enemy. This whole white issue, that's about to disappear soon. That ain't even gonna be an issue no more. Let's get to the real issues involved.
You saying you God. So now, if the shoes fit, you gotta wear them now, G, right? So, when the problems come to God, God on earth's example is the sun. The only thing that God needs to concentrate on is shining. As soon as you stop concentrating on shining, you turn into a planet.
I would go on breaks at the time. I would go for breaks, and at that time I was in Yonkers, not too far. It was literally in my backyard, and it was a park. It was a big park back there, and it was the museum, the Hudson River Museum was back there with a planetarium and everything. So I would go back there, and I would go for walks, and I would walk along the river, Hudson River, so on and so forth. And from working so intensively with code, I began to look at a tree, and I would actually see the source code of the tree. I would look at a squirrel, and I would see the squirrel's source code. I mean, literally, I would see code. I was seeing code everywhere. And so it made me start to think. I said, wow. I said, is this really a virtual reality, really a program, and everything that exists in this universe has a source code? And doing further analysis, I found out, yes. As a matter of fact, the source code in humans is known as DNA. That's source code.
First of all, we are royalty down here. But the royalty is because you were created you were taken from the body of royalty. And that you were spliced with 22 different races to become who we are today. And the people who know this, who were the purveyors of this, supposedly had a war. And in that war, they won the right to our design. And they can use your body as walk-ins, as places for cohabitation, as vehicles to be able to transmute into different dimensional portals. Because their particular body structures cannot deal. You see, you're a compilation of 22. They only have compilations of 5 or 6. You are royalty, and they know it, and everybody wants a piece of this place, this action down here. We are God.
In the eyes of members of this galaxy, but we are fucked up because we don't know it.
Who's that? This appears to be a holographic image of Imhotep, the genius from the 3rd dynasty of ancient Egypt.
Quite right. Except that we called it Kemet, I think.
See, I fuck with spiritual technology. We made up the whole world to accommodate us. Computer mean Kim Patar, black father. Your daddy made the computer 10,000 years ago, sent it into the future, because he know you was going to be stupider than a motherfucker. You heard? Low key, you got an instance of this in the 18th dynasty. Egyptians started writing on anything they could find, nigga, because they knew niggas was about to get dumber than a motherfucker. I promise you. So, you sitting up here trying to figure out what the next thing the Pilgrim gonna do. He got a microscope in space focused on melanin, nigga. I bet you melanin give off its own motherfucking shit like Predator, like the movie. Because they was connecting that shit with the dreads. Like this. Like you could shape shift. and go in and out of shit. They was getting at West Indians. They was trying to play us. They was trying to play our cultural paradigm, putting us in rainforests, shape-shifting motherfucking aliens that they gotta subject and subdue and save the world from. That all look like you. The Smurfs come from the French. They made you blue. And that's French people mocking Haitians. You heard? Trying to make them diminutive. Make you blue but small. You heard? You a small Smurf. Because Islam, low-key in its pristine as a religious doctrine, predates Christianity. Christianity, in your black mind, is only a tool to subjugate you. Why the fuck is y'all studying Christianity's origins? You need to be studying the African origin of quantum mental mechanics.
Because it is in the mentally ill that you get the new paradigm. In a world like this, you better be crazy. That's the only way you get out of this shit. It is in the mentally ill that you get the new paradigm. You see what I'm saying? Think about it. Some crazy motherfucker gonna do some shit that's genius only because he's crazy. See, we changing this shit around. We going above all other shit. Brother and sister, all this righteous man and all this shit here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's lovely, lovely, true and indeed, righteous. Oh, everything is beautiful, everything is blessed. That ain't nothing but some same old fundamentalism. We saying that it is in them crazy motherfuckers that all the shit comes to pass. It is in the mentally ill. And what is more mentally ill than a damn 20th century or 21st century nigger? That's where you get it. That's why the white man copying you. You know, you gotta know, here's James Brown doing this hollering. Somebody said, wait a minute, hold on. Go back and analyze that shit. They take the tape and rewind it. Motherfucker be hollering on the beat. That motherfucker done made a fucking damn percussion sound out of hollering. Now who the fuck can do some shit like that but a damn Negro? And you don't understand that people around the world copy you based on your insanity. But then I figured it out, it's only in the insane. That's why you the only motherfucker can do the shit. Because you the only people, other people are too new. And that is, now we're not talking some, that brother that's inventing shit. No, that's in the Grail mythology. It's called the Fisher King. The Fisher King is an ancient race of the fish people, Jesus Christ. The fish people, he's so old. Until the world that he live in, he's outgrown it.
And she know how to deal with them because she bought our lunch one time. Me, damn, this boy done farted anyway. You shitty ass monkey. Damn. You're a Negro. Mama, this is what I'm telling you about. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
That's what the beauty, once again, of this information is. The fact that if you are where you need to be and doing what you need to do, everything that you need to wage this war is going to come to you. They're not talking to us. You feel me? And, you know, that's the game changer. They could talk to the people. They could talk to everybody out there and spread them lies, but you can really see that they're cowering from the truth. You know what I'm saying? And they're willing to do anything that they can to embarrass it, beat it into submission. But the truth stands tall. So the U.S. government plans to use melanin for military applications, armor weapons, and energy storage. right? Melanin is a top candidate for organic bioelectrics applications, right? Because it's the same game that they play. It's the scare tactic to, I'm gonna beat you into submission until you abandon your post altogether and think it worthless, and then I'm gonna occupy the vacant seat. That's how they got the birthright. That's how they got everything else that they running with. You know what I'm saying? They either stole it or they tricked you out of your own bag. You know? It's an expected reaction. You feel me? They're not willing to have this conversation in public, especially during this period in time of the Corona rising, where the narrative is directly connected to the children of the sun. They're just gauging to see where people is at with their conversation. You feel me? If you got to be convinced that you are those people, how far away are you from even catching up to yourself? Because once you come online and figure out who you are, those people have a specific instructional mandate about how to apply, right, that thing that you say that you are. You just can't say it in name alone, oh, we the Black Jews. Well, what does that mean? Well, they have a particular date with destiny, and they have a particular discipline, and they have a particular doctrine, and they have a particular diet, right? And what part of that are you participating in? Where you are phase conjugating your competition out of the way. To say, nigga, you can't be saying that you occupying this space over here, because I got it occupied, and two things can't occupy one space at the same time. They like, nigga, you abandoned the post, right? I'm over here holding this shit up. I'm over here with the fucking walking looking like Igor because I'm trying to hold this shit up because I don't got nothing else to go to. But you got this shit and you abandoned it. You over there trying everything else. Do we know don't work? They come from this. Woo! Woo! What is you talking about?
Right.
Right? Everybody got daddy issues, man. And it's perfect, like I said, to have this conversation going into Leo. We're going to talk about this. Where's the Rasas talking about Judah? Right?
Right.
But why the Rasas and the Israelites don't sit down and have a cohesive conversation about the house of Judah? About the lion. Right? Ain't no lions in Israel, my nigga. Like, come on, this is a simple conversation that people are not willing to have because you got to occupy that space because we are getting that much more closer right now. Right? We're getting that much more closer. And people, if you haven't even woken up to the fact of who you are, and once again, like I said, it don't even have to be literal. It's about the mythos and the importance of the mythos to position yourself with a cosmic narrative that puts you in position right now with time and space to receive a blessing. If you're not there to receive it, my nigga, and somebody else is there impersonating you, guess what? The energy's not going to divert itself because it's like, oh, this ain't my nigga that I've been waiting on. It's like whoever shows up to receive it and moves at the proper particular angles, right? That knows how to trap light, they're going to get the download. They're going to get the upgrade. It might not do for them what it's supposed to do for you, but it's going to take longer for you to get them out of your hair. Pun intended. Pun intended. So this shit comes with a responsibility, my nigga. You just can't say it in name alone. Are you upholding that covenant? Are you walking in the ways? Are you holding the Sabbath up? Are you practicing the diet? Do you know the doctrine? Are you in your Kabbalah? But somebody else got the book and then put you into a further sleep in a shallow grave? Are you serious? Pun intended. Do you even know about your cosmic ancestors? Do you know what the importance of that particular star is and how it is delivering all of the cosmic intelligence to this planet and personifying itself in front of you in what you consider to be nigga entertainment, but every nigga's a star. Ooh. You understand? And we go from niggas to gods. Same way that motherfucking stars go to quasars and supernovas and black holes. right? It's phases to this shit. And you supposed to know that you all things.
Reality is at an extreme height in this moment as we shift to what we call the Sati Yuga. We are now in a golden age. Blown. That light coming here, Beetlejuice, is us now full-fledged in this golden age. We run this. They showed you in the last Avengers what happened to Captain America. He got old on that bench, remember? Who did he give his shield to? Black man. They're telling you they got to give America back. When they gave the shield back to the black man, look at the star, full-fledged Baphomet. He said, yo, here you go, I'm giving it back. He said, I don't know what to do with it, that old corny-ass, falcon-ass nigga. I don't know what to do with it. He said, oh, you'll know just what to do with it. Watch it again. And then even Thor, who represented the God force, who represented the mythological aspect of the Avengers, who did he make the queen of Asgard on Earth? Black girl, who was to play the Valkyrie. Here you go, you the queen. They giving up the guard, nigga. I'm telling you, we just too fucking dependent on the motherfuckers to know they gave it up. That's what they did. All right, we turning it off. We ran out of tricks. Trump is not like their Illuminati trick. He's the end result of their magic is over. So he shows you every day the aspect of this shit that was supposed to be the hustle ain't got no more hustle. It is what it is. A fat, greedy, racist, rapist, grab them by the pussy, orange clone from the caves, yodeling ass cracker is in the motherfucking White House. And that's how it's always been. But now the covers have been pulled back. And this is because your time, your light is here. We just don't know it because we're doing it. And their last ditch effort was to lock you in that Black Lives Matter shit and let you niggas talk woke in it so you feel you made progress. So that's why Nick Cage is up in this motherfucker just pop locking, talking about Jews. And they said, well, we're not over yet. You know what I'm saying? We're going to try this and try that. But he's bold because Black Lives Matter has been let to be made a little bit bolder with what they say. I can hear it in their commentaries because they want to create the illusion that we're somehow making this progress. And they want us to make progress on that track. But the reality is, this is ours again. And really, we only up now to drive the fuck out of here. It's time to move on. This is that waking up period. The ancestors, all of that.